What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're back on the E46 today, and we're going to be fixing another one of the leaks, and hopefully it's the only other leak. So it's the power steering reservoir leak. It looks to either be the reservoir or one of the hoses. So I have ordered a kit. It's finally come in, so let's rip this old one out and put the new one in, and hopefully we can get no more leaks out of the bottom of this car, and then we can start doing some fun stuff like coilovers and underglow and new carbon fiber bits. Guys, if these are the kind of videos you like, if you find them helpful, if you find them entertaining, any of my stuff, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really helps the channel out. It says, I think on my analytics, it's like 80% of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. So if you want to subscribe and you've just forgotten to click the button, go for it. If you don't want to, that's cool. Like, I don't mind. So now I've got my advertising out of the way. Let's jump on in. All right, so firstly, what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to remove this, I think for ease of access, because we're gonna take off this reservoir, obviously, and the two hoses that go directly down to the power steering pump. So it's gonna be a couple of bolts, a couple of clips, a couple of hose clamps, and then we'll get this bad boy out, and it's gonna give us a lot easier access to this. There's gonna be a clamp on here, so we're gonna be able to get that off, but I'll show you that once we've got the airbox off. So let's quickly take this off first. All right, so that's out, super easy. There was just the plug down there off the side, one hose clamp, two bolts that went into there, and then it just slips out of that fitting right there. As you can see, it is goopy as straight out of the reservoir. So it looks like the reservoir is cooked. So what I'm gonna have to do is get that back tube, which feeds down the back there. I can't get a view of it there, down into the pump, and I need to get this tube down here off of there as well. And now I'm going to have to drain it all, obviously. So let's get underneath, and we're going to have to take off the under tray so we've got access to the pump. Now to get this under tray out, you've got a couple little screws there on each side, and it's actually just at the back of this panel. There are a few across the back as well. Now they're just a quarter turn and they will pop down and slide it out of the way. Okay, so you can see that fitting there with the elbow coming out of it. That's the hose that comes down from the top. So what I'm going to do is undo that, pull it off, drain out all of the fluid, and then go back up the top and undo the hoses from underneath the reservoir, undo the reservoir, and then take that out. And there we go for that one. So it's just a hose clamp on this hose here, and that 10mm bolt, and it just slides out. That just holds it. So I don't know if someone has done that up too tight and cracked it, but if you have a look over here, you can see how much gunk is just spread all over that. What I want to do, I'm going to take this hose off and just inspect it, see if I can see any cracks or anything, because yeah, this is fried. So I'm glad I've got a new one. I've got a new reservoir and two hoses going in. Okay, so we have our new kit here, which is great. I think what's damaged is possibly either this hose or it's the reservoir itself. Now, back in the engine bay, this hose looks great, so I'm going to reinstall that one. It looks okay. So what I'm going to do is get the hose that feeds down there, connect it on the bottom and do it up, then pop the reservoir into that one and then into this hose, and pretty much put everything back together, bleed the system, and hope that it doesn't leak anymore. All right, so the little baddie's back in. It was literally the bolt to put the reservoir back in. I think previously that was done up a bit too much and maybe they cracked it or something. A hose clamp for the hose at the back, hose clamp for the hose at the front, and again a hose clamp for the bottom of the hose at the back. And then to put the airbox back in was these two 10mm, that hose clamp, and this plug right here. So now what I've done is I have filled this up with the correct fluid, and I'm going to hop inside and turn full left to full right lock about, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 times to try and bleed the system, get all the air out, and then hopefully no more leaky boys. All right, so just before I go, so I just took the car down to the car wash to get it all pressure washed, clean it all up, make it all nice, because obviously there's all the grime under there, and I cleaned off the under tray as well. And as I'm about to pull out of there, so just to give you a backstory, last time I had my temporary move permit, I had it for a month, and I was moving the car around, you know, fixing things, all that sort of stuff, and no cop ever pulled me over. Like 30 days, didn't get pulled over once. So I was like, man, why am I even wasting my money on these things? You know, like just, you feel like you're wasting your dollars. And I bought one literally 10 minutes before I just drove it, went and washed it. And then as I'm trying to pull out, a cop pulls in front of me and blocks me in at the car wash and wouldn't let me out. And he was just like, mate, you got no plates on your car? And, you know, went through it. Yeah, I know, I've got a temporary move permit, blah, blah, blah. Gave him that, gave him my license. He's like, why are you so far from home? And I'm like, oh, you know, down here fixing it, all that sort of stuff. And he's just like, yep, no worries. All right, have a good day. And then as he's walking off, he's like, hey mate, when's that permit end? And I was like, 21st. And he's just like, yes, it does. See ya. Walks off. Man, I'm so glad I spent that $60 to get this thing like moving around, because if I didn't, that would have been hectic. I don't know what I would have been up for, but it definitely would have been more than $60. So guys, if you're going to move your cars around, definitely get your temporary move permits if it's not registered. All right, guys. Well, I hope these videos have been helpful. I hope this one has. Sorry, I was referring to the other one, the valve cover gasket, because I did clean all the oil off underneath at the same time just then. I hope it's been helpful. I hope if you've got this issue on your E46, this has been able to help you. I know it's a point of contention on these cars that the power steering reservoirs and the hoses can leak or, you know, get damaged or crack or whatever. Same with the valve cover gasket. So I hope that video helped as well. If you guys need anything, link is in the description. So I will have a power steering reservoir and hoses kit for you in the description. In the listing that I give you guys, make sure it's the correct hose when you order it. But apart from that, guys, I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys.